Welcome to 730 World Stories. This story is called The Library of Memories. Sit back and enjoy.
The Library of Memories. Chapter 1. The Inheritance. Emily Harper stood in the center of the grand library, her eyes wide with awe. The room was vast, filled with shelves that reached the ceiling, each one packed with books of every size and color. It was a world unto itself, a place where time seemed to stand still. Dusk motes floated lazily in the beams of sunlight that streamed through the tall windows, casting a golden glow over the room. Emily had inherited this library from her grandmother, a woman she had always considered a bit mysterious. Her grandmother, Lillian Harper, was a quiet woman with a gentle smile and a love for stories. She had often told Emily that books were more than just words on paper. They were portals to other worlds, gateways to different times and places. Now, standing in the library, Emily felt a sense of wonder and curiosity. She walked slowly down the aisles, her fingers trailing lightly over the spines of the books. Each one seemed to hum with a quiet energy, as if it was waiting for someone to open it and unleash the stories within. Chapter 2. The First Book. As Emily explored the library, she noticed a small, ornate table in the corner of the room. On it lay a single book, bound in rich, dark leather, with gold lettering on the cover. The title read, The Memories of Lillian Harper. Emily's heart skipped a beat. She picked up the book, feeling its weight in her hands. It was cool to the touch, and the leather felt smooth and supple. With a deep breath, she opened the book to the first page. There, in her grandmother's elegant handwriting, was a note. To my dearest Emily, this library is yours now. Each book contains the memories and stories of people from different times and places. As you read them, you will discover connections to your own life and our family history. Remember, Emily, that our past shapes our future. Love always, Grandma Lillian. Tears welled up in Emily's eyes as she read the note. She could almost hear her grandmother's voice, soft and soothing. Wiping away the tears, she turned the page and began to read. Chapter 3. The World War II. Nurse. The first story was about a young nurse named Margaret, who served in World War II. Emily was immediately drawn into the story, feeling as if she was right there, alongside Margaret, experiencing the horrors and hardships of war. Margaret was stationed in a field hospital, treating wounded soldiers and dealing with the constant fear of air raids. Emily could feel the tension and fear that Margaret felt, but also her determination and compassion. She read about the friendships Margaret formed with her fellow nurses and the bonds she made with the soldiers she cared for. Despite the chaos and devastation around her, Margaret remained strong, finding moments of joy and hope in the small acts of kindness she was able to offer. As Emily read, she felt a deep connection to Margaret. She could see her grandmother's spirit in the young nurse's bravery and resilience. It was as if Lillian had lived through Margaret, experiencing her struggles and triumphs. Chapter 4. The Secret Romance. The story of Margaret didn't end with the war. As Emily continued to read, she discovered that Margaret had fallen in love with a young soldier named James. Their romance was a secret, hidden from the prying eyes of their superiors. They would steal moments together whenever they could, sharing whispered conversations and stolen kisses. The love story was bittersweet. James was sent to the front lines, and Margaret was left behind, fearing for his safety. Emily's heart ached as she read about their separation and the letters they exchanged, filled with love and longing. One day, a letter arrived from James, telling Margaret that he had been injured and was being sent home. The joy and relief Margaret felt was palpable. and Emily found herself smiling through her tears. Chapter 5. The Reunion. The final chapter of Margaret's story was about her reunion with James. They met at the train station, both of them changed by the war but still deeply in love. Emily read about their embrace, the way they held each other as if they would never let go. Margaret and James married and started a family, building a life together filled with love and happiness. Despite the challenges they faced, they remained strong and resilient, their love a beacon of hope and strength. As Emily closed the book, she felt a deep sense of connection to her grandmother and to the stories she had read. She knew that the library held many more stories, each one a piece of her family's history, each one a part of her own story. Epilogue. The journey begins. Emily placed the book back on the table, her mind buzzing with the memories she had uncovered. She knew that her journey had just begun, that there were many more stories to discover and connections to be made. With a sense of purpose and excitement, Emily turned back to the shelves, ready to dive into the next story. The library was a treasure trove of memories, a place where the past came to life and the present found meaning. And Emily was ready to embrace it all, one story at a time. The end. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and thanks for listening.